Hey everybody, Cannonball Cats here. It's a little awkward coming in on the front side of this video collage that I put together for you here. Hey, it's great to be back first of all. I want to say I hope that you guys enjoy this video, but the first part of the video was really a mess because my camera just didn't work right and it screwed the entire viewing up. So anyhow, I'm going to give you just a quick synopsis here. Hey, this is all about the Extreme Tactical Components AZTP 22 full build. They call it their custom build. It's with an Azimuth Technologies action, an ETC bolt, an ETC barrel, and Hogue overmold stock. So the actual firearm itself functions great, but buyer beware. Pay attention to what you get your hands on out there. I'm doing a full true custom rebuild on this to try and produce a rifle that's going to shoot the way it's supposed to and not shoot 3, 4, 5 inch groups when promised to make dime size holes at 50 yards. I'm not going to badmouth any companies, not going to badmouth anybody in particular, but what I'm going to do is just tell you that and then move forward into the video and let you know, buyer beware, pay attention to what you buy, and make sure that you check out all the reviews and that you do your research. That way you don't pick up something that you've been promised and you can overpromise and underdeliver. That makes sense. All it's going to do is cost you money. You can spend the money on the front side and get yourself something really nice. I'm having to do it twice, but I'm finishing with something really nice, and you'll see. Hope you enjoy the video. Thank you. Hey, I'm pretty excited to talk about this with you guys today. Jamie Katz here, Cannonball Cats from Cannonball Farms. It's been a long time. Glad to be back. Don't know how many of these I'll produce, but here we go. Starting up another one. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. Hopefully we'll learn from it all together and we'll increase enjoyment in the shooting sports. But real excited on this one also because I've got something to show you here. Kind of a plus and a minus, but I'm going to show you. This is a Extreme Tactical Components so the action, you can see, is very smooth. This actually has a snap cap in it, so when I rack it, it's going to eject. But the action itself is very smooth. As I stated, it has run perfect, but the barrel itself is where the biggest problem has lied with this firearm. And also the other thing that I've noticed with this rifle, failed to mention it as I was rambling here a little minute ago, but the other thing I've noticed with this rifle is that it came with just your generic Ruger 1022 trigger pack, far from even reaching the level of a BX trigger pack. Even while in the stock, I have had issues with the bolt hold and mag release lever pin falling out. I have looked online and I've seen that can be an issue with some of these Ruger style triggers, whether they be factory or a generic type. Just these basic triggers, they can have that issue with the pins being too loose. So I will be upgrading the trigger pack as well. So the firearm itself is gonna have, I guess, really, end result, it's gonna be an action. What you see here that's gonna remain is gonna be the action and the bolt and magazine it came with. But other than that, the entire rifle is gonna be upgraded, changed, Frankenstein, and rebuilt. Okay, folks, round two. You've already seen me discuss this Extreme Tactical Components 22 long rifle. Explained to you that I was going to Frankenstein it, of course, and we're going to turn this into this. Now I will say that the only part I don't currently have is the Volquartsen TG2000 trigger pack. That has been ordered and is on the way. Unfortunately, again, I don't have it yet. And but to be honest with you, I just can't wait to put this thing together. So I think I'm going to just do it. And I think I'm going to build this firearm, and I'm not supposed to receive that trigger for a few days, but I just can't resist building this thing, putting it together, and I'll just use this generic trigger that I got painter's tape holding the bolt hold open pin in. I'm just going to do it and make it work. And, you know, when that trigger comes in, I'll change that out. Oh, looks like Charlie the cat has decided to get into the mix. Want to make sure he's out of the way. I don't want to get any hair inside the action. But I'll get back with you, folks. I'm going to do some of this stuff. And Charlie, get out of the way. I'm going to do some of this stuff, and then I'll get back with you a little bit later. All right. Jamie Katz, Cannonball Cat, signing out. Bye-bye. Okay. Installation phase 1. Got the rifle up on the Tipton gun vise. Got the brand new kid barrel. Sorry, that's out of center. I don't have a fancy camera set up on a tripod or anything like that. I basically do everything with my cell phone because you guys have seen my other videos. You recognize that we are hunting on a budget, and sometimes the budget hurts a little bit. So let's open this up, take a look at this barrel here right quick. Comes packaged really nice. Comes in a U.S. Postal Service box. Packaged nice, wrapped up with wrapping paper, and then this portion of it in this plastic container. Comes with these little bands on here, these little rubber bands. Let me get them off here if I can show you. These little guys right here, they're just designed so that it doesn't bounce around in here. They kind of hold it in place inside this plastic, and it protects it. You will, on the stainless, you might see, you won't really be able to make it out, but there's a couple little bands where these rubber bands were set at, and it just kind of puts a little marking on the barrel itself with something I can wipe it off with my thumb, so it's no big deal. But anyhow, holy cow, what a nice barrel. I am really, look at that, man. Look at the machining on that. I am really excited about this. I think this is going to change the entire level of this firearm. Kid Innovative Designs, 18-inch stainless 1022 bull barrel. I did not go with the threaded option. This band here is just for design purposes. All of his barrels have them, but there is no threading on this barrel. There's no need for threading on this barrel. I went 18 inches with it, and I'm not concerned about running a suppressor. I'm not concerned about running any muzzle device, and it's one less thing to have to remove, clean, and worry about losing. It is a thread protector as far as I'm concerned. So, okay, well, I'm going to start breaking this guy down, and I'll get back and continue with this once I have the action broken apart. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the barreled action removed from the stock. I went ahead and just took the optic off. This is going to be a little bit labor intensive installing this kid barrel. What I mean by that is not that it's overly difficult, but because of the tight tolerances, I figured the best way was remove that optic and give myself the most clearances for workspace and so forth. I also will be removing the bolt, the triggered pack. You can see where the painter's tape is on there, by the way. That is where I was speaking of previously on losing the bolt stop and mag release pin. So I did a little research online, and you know, I was basically researched online. There's a few people said, put some painter's tape on it. That's what you need to do. But cheap trigger pack, you know, does the job. But can't wait to get that Volquartsen. But I'm gonna stand with this one so I can get this thing built and be able to utilize it in the meantime. Anyhow, all right, checking back in a minute. So there is everything disassembled. You can see the action is pretty nice, very clean inside. Again, this is the AZTP22 Azimuth Technologies. See if I can get that in focus here at all. It doesn't look like I'm going to. Azimuth Technologies action. And the actual bolt, I mean, it looks good. I like the fact that it's sealed on top. It is pinned, so it does not over extrude, if I'm using that word properly. When it fires, it only is able to extend so far, and it's a nice feature actually. So again, the problem was more not with functionality, but more with accuracy. But a nice bolt all in all. Keep it for a while, see how it goes. These parts may go to another build at some other point and see what we can do with it, and maybe it'll get a little better over time. Okay, had to get the camera mounted up high here again so I could show you this, because it takes two hands. But you can see with this barrel here, which is the original barrel, and the action, man, it just kind of glides in. And once it's in place, it actually has a little bit of a wobble. Even once it's installed, there's still some wobble there. That's concerning. So I can tell you that with this kid, it is extremely tight. I mean, it is extremely tight. So I'm going to use a bit of science that I've heard, and we're gonna try and heat this action up to expand this hole here, and we're gonna cool the barrel to see if we can't shrink that just a little bit, and we're gonna see if science actually works. I'll get back and let you know how it turns out. Okay, well, the kid barrel is installed, and man, it looks good. I need to check. I'm going to check and just make sure everything lines up right, but it's straight, it's squared. I did have to use that bit of science. I used a hair dryer, my wife's hair dryer, put it on high, and just blew that air right into this action, right in here for about 5 minutes. And when I first tried to fit the barrel, it wouldn't even start. And I did use some anti-seize. I put this on here, anti-seize lubricant, but it wouldn't even start. And then once I put that heat on it for about 5 minutes, and the action does get pretty hot, but it wasn't anything that you can't do, that I couldn't do barehanded. I don't know how much heat tolerance people have. So, and then once I was put that in there, got it hot enough, pushed that barrel in about to right here. That's about as far as I could push it with my fingernails touching. And then I just turned it over after watching the Tony Kidd video, and I just tapped it on this towel 3 times on the backside here. Boom, boom, boom. And on the 3rd time, it was fully seated. And then I was able to make sure and get it turned the right direction, or set in place, leveled up the way it needs to be. Then I went ahead and installed the V-block, and it's cooled down pretty good now. And man, I love science. That is really cool. So I almost feel like I'm doing a disservice by putting this trigger pack back in with this install. I almost feel like it, but I'm just so excited. I want to be able to shoot it this weekend, so I'm going to do it anyway. My Volquartsen trigger isn't due to be here till early next week, so it is what it is at this point. I want to get to the range and fire this baby. I am going to purchase a Kid V-Block. This V-Block here, as you can see, it's a little crooked, but everything's secure. This is exactly where it's supposed to go. Everything's secure. I did torque it to 12.5 inch-pounds. The Kid website recommends 10 to 12 inches is all that's needed because of the tight tolerances of the barrel, how it's fitted in here. So that just helps with barrel droop, but it's not really going to do much as far as supporting the barrel because it's in so tight. But I did torque it to 12.5 inch-pounds, and it might be as much as 13 because my torque driver may be off a half a pound here or there, but it's right on that mark. So anyhow, we're going to see how it functions. I already have the bolt installed, as you can see. The extractor lined up perfectly, so I just man, I'm just ready to go. I'm going to put this in the Titan chassis and get it inset, and we're going to go from there. Well, here it is, folks. And back up a little bit so you can see it. This is the finished product right here. This is quite a looker, and I'm going to tell you that I was going to do the video in two separate segments where I showed it being put together, and then where I reflected going to the range, but I couldn't wait. I went to the range after doing it and getting this thing put together, and I'll tell you what, I complained in the earlier segments of this video about the fact that this ETC original rifle was struggling with 3 to 4 inch groups at 50 yards. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how the video will show it, but I'm going to show you my target. And these are the first shots. And everything was at 50 yards. These are first shots after 6 rounds on another target just to dial it in. These are first shots. So here you go. The center, and I didn't count that flyer there in the center. That was with Norm Attack, and that was actually 14 shots. And you can see right there, that was a .683 group, 14 rounds. Every single one of these, with the exception of the largest groups, which are over here by this point. These are two. This is a 5-shot group with CCI standard velocity, you can see, and a 10-shot group, but both of those are still under an inch. And if you look at some of these groups that happen with the SK long rifle match, look at that, a .370. That one I must have really been feeling good. Every single group on here is less than 1 inch and pretty damn close to a ½ inch, which obviously this is what Kid barrels are guaranteed to do, shoot a ½ inch. Bear in mind that for myself, I am no marksman. I'm a cannonball. So I tend to just like to hit things with a big ball of fire. But that's pretty damn good for me, and I'm pretty excited about it, especially with those being the first shots coming out of that rifle. And not only that, as I said earlier in this segment, this video collage or montage, still running that basic junk trigger on there, which through my testing with my trigger device is pulling right at 6 pounds with a good 1/4 inch over travel. or excuse me, a 1/4 inch of preload, and probably an 1/8 or more inch of travel after she fires. So, and then with a 5.5 to 6 pound trigger, that's where it came in, 5.5 to 6 over 3 to 5 pulls with my gauge. So just a horrible trigger. So I cannot wait to get that Volquartsen TG2000 on there and see what it can do. But just wanted to finish this whole thing off by saying, man, this is outstanding. If you have a chance to build a 1022, or you have a 1022, man, put you a Kid Innovative Designs barrel on there, and don't even screw with the other stuff. That barrel can get it done. I can't wait to see what it does after 500 rounds. Man, this thing is looking great. Thanks, Cannonball Cats. Signing off. Remember, like, subscribe. Going back for more. Hopefully I'll get some more for you here in the very near future. Thank you, folks. God bless America.